Hi and welcome. I'm Shane, co-founder of Lifetick. Today I'd like to present a brief demonstration of Lifetick for individuals, and this is the premium plan. So I'm going to go right ahead and log in. And for those who saw the first video, I've already established some goals and I've also established a dream, and now I want to build on that. So what does premium offer? Well, firstly, unlimited goals. The free plan gives you up to 4 at any one time, but our premium plan, unlimited. It also provides for financial goals, trackers, and we're going to dive into those a little bit as well. So let's take a look at it right now. Let's add a goal that's a financial goal. So financial goals are typically one of 3 types in Lifetick. It could be a savings, it could be paying off a debt, or it could be related to sales, a sales target. So let's take an easy one. Let's say we want to take the family to Europe for a holiday, or as you say in the US, a vacation. So how will I know I will have achieved this goal? Here's where the financials come into play. I saved a target amount of money. Okay, now this is important because what that does is it allows you to set up the financial total of the goal and the financial amounts for each individual task. So let's take an amount. Let's say it's $15,000, and we can say how realistic it is for me. Let's say it's a little bit daunting, got to save a lot of money, we're very busy. And how does it align with my core values? Well, I would say this is a lifestyle goal. And when do we think we're going to do it? Well, we are going to do it in the European and Northern Hemisphere summer. For those of you who guessed, yes, I'm in Australia, and we celebrate summer over Christmas. So why do we want to achieve this goal? Always encourage people to fill this out with as much detail as possible. You want to be really articulate and excited about what it is you want to do with your life. But I'm just going to keep it straightforward for this demonstration and just say, because we love Europe. Culture, food, history, and everything so close too. All right, how important is it to me right now? I always think any goal is high priority, but let's demonstrate some of the functionality here, and we'll pick medium, and we'll start to see some of our pie charts come to life. So as we move forward, we've now got the ability to create financial tasks, but what you'll notice about a financial goal is that we have a second progress tracker. So we have one already for every goal, which shows how many tasks we've completed. And if you hover over the percentage of tasks completed for that goal, and it's green because we're on track, we haven't said anything, so it assumes we're on track. But then we also have the financial tracking. How are we tracking financially to that goal? That's the real kicker. So let's add some tasks and see what this looks like. All right, so firstly, I'm going to say save $1,500 every month. Now, this is going to be a repeating task, and let's say it starts this month. We want it to repeat every month and count reached after 10 months. Now, here's where it's going to get interesting, right? So we're saying it has a financial value, so we don't need to check that box, and we know it's $1,500. Okay, now what we've got here is a very helpful little tip that shows how much we need to add in the tasks to total our goal. So what if we said, let's say $1,500 every month for 9 months? Look what happens. You still need $1,500 to equal your target. What if we said 11? We'd say, hey, your tasks add up to $1,500 more than your goals. So it gives us a lot of reminders. Now, what it would also do is if we put in 10, it would actually say, you know what, that's going to take you past your due date of your goal. Do you want to push your goal out? Let's have a look. Oh, due date is later than your estimated completion date. Do you want to move it? No, I actually don't. So let's go back and change this. Okay, so firstly, I want to make this a bit more interesting. I want to make this, let's say, 7 months of saving. Okay, so what we can see here is that doesn't get us to our tally. only 4,500. I'm not going to set a reminder. Let's just save this and see what it looks like. Okay. So now we've got saving $1,500 every month. Well, good news. I've put some money aside. I've done my first saving. Here we go. I'm going to complete one instance of my saving. Remember, I'm saving for 7 months, and the first one is due on the 30th. So as soon as I complete this and go, yes, I've saved my first month's worth, that's going to add up some money towards our total. It's a bit hard to see there. It's actually 1,500 of 15,000, a bit compressed. And it's moved our due date forward to the next time. And we can see we've done one task done out of our 7 tasks. So now let's add some other tasks. We want to do some tasks that aren't monetary in value. So let's say we need to book our flights. We can say not a financial value, and we can say it's going to be due very soon because we know how busy it gets, and we're going to save that. So you can have a mixture of financial tasks and non-financial tasks. The important thing is make sure your financial tasks add up to your goal value. So let's just say, put my annual bonus toward a trip, and let's say it was $3,000, and that's going to come at the end of the calendar year, just before Christmas. And we can see, yes, we still have to save $1,500 or create a task that's or a series of tasks. So let's put one more in there, and we'll just say, let's put collect birthday money. And put toward trip. Well, it's more birthday money than I've ever gotten, but let's just say I'm expecting $1,500. Now my birthday's quite soon, but let's just say my birthday happens to be in March. And now you can see, hey, we've got the right amount of financial tasks. They add up to our goal. So that's good. Now we just got to work towards achieving them. Now you can go ahead and you can add all the other tasks you need to do. And if you want, you can share that with the person you're traveling with and give them some tasks to do as well. But for now, that's what we want to show on financial tasks. So remember, paying off debt, saving towards something special, or achieving sales targets in a work context. So let's close that. We've now got 2 goals. We can also see over here that we've got some pie charts. So this is our core values. We see we've got 1 in career and 1 in lifestyle, and we can click on that and filter that out. Yep, that isn't very valuable when you've only got 2 goals, but if you've got 7, 8, 9, 10, it might be useful. Same with how achievable. We've got 1 that's daunting and 1 that's challenging, and finally 1 high priority and 1 medium priority. So that's a bit of extra context and filtering that you might like. Now let's talk a little bit about trackers. Okay. Now with the free plan, everyone can write a journal. So excited to be underway. There you go. I've written in my journal. I can reflect on it over time. I can run a report and see all my journal entries over a period of time. But there it is, and I can even edit it if I need to. You'll see that along the way, the journal's automatically tracking my goal activity and everything else that I'm doing in the system. But now I'm actually interested in the trackers themselves. So what are trackers? Trackers are a way to more specifically track something in Lifetick. So it might be to do with your physical activity, going to the gym, going for runs. It could be measuring your weight, or it might be something descriptive, like what are the books I've read. So if you look at adding trackers, you can see we've got here a text tracker. So it allows you to say, hey, these are the books I've read. So let's say great books. And you might even do a book review or something like that. Now, I'm sure there's a little icon here that probably is good for this. Maybe it's a book, but I'm just going to choose this in the interests of time. And I can also show this tracker on my dashboard. Why would I do that? Well, it means I can do a quick update rather than having to go into the journal to add a tracker. So I'm going to leave that one in the dashboard. I'm going to save that, and I'm going to go ahead and click on it. Sorry, not click on it. I'm going to close that, and I'm going to record the tracker now. Okay, So what am I recording? So here it is, great books. Now we put a few defaults in there so you can see what they're like. You can go ahead and delete those, that's no trouble at all. So let's have a look here. War and Peace, that was a really good book. And you might want to do a bit of a review. You know, very gripping and moving despite the slow pace at times. A rewarding end. Okay, I'm not doing that justice, but this is really just to show you what it's about. So as you can see, I've now got a specific category just for this tracker, and it's called Great Books. So why would I do that? It's because I want to keep track of that. And so if I go into my reports, I could say, you know what, I really want to report on all the great books I've read. Show me in a table everything I've done each year for the last 15 years, and here you go. You could just have the titles or a description. One thing I like to do for myself is to capture stories from my dad about him, about his life living in the Aussie outback, or stories of my grandfathers. And I know that I can quickly access them. Or I think, what is that story? You know, it's just a categorization tool. So there's a lot of ways you could use trackers. Let's look at a couple of the other financial ways. So you've also got other trackers, Booleans. This is simply yes or no. So did I take my vitamins today? Did I go to the gym? You know, it's just yes, I did it. No, I didn't. And every time you go in, you go yes, 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 or no, or whatever. And you can graph it and again report. The report would look a bit boring, but it might be how you want to see it. It might be more the graph that's better value. You've got the count. So this is just every time you're ticking along, 8 glasses of water a day, they say, maybe you want to do that. A numeric value could be to do with weight loss or sporting activities, and there's a difference between the two. So let's show you what they're like. So if we had weight, for example, and I'd love to find a little running man right now, but I'm just going to make it a little purple tag. Because I chose a numeric value, it's asking me, am I going to be totaling it or am I averaging it? Okay, why does this matter? Well, if you're measuring your weight and you measure your weight twice, and I'm Australian, so I'm going to use kilograms. I apologize. Let's say I'm 78 kilograms. I weigh myself again next week and I'm 80 kilograms. I don't want it to tell me that I'm suddenly 158 kilograms. That would be totaling it. What I want it to do over time is tell me what my average is, which would be 79 kilos. Okay? Whereas if you happen to be accumulating some distance, you could choose either. You might say, what's my average running distance? Or how much have I run in this particular month? You know, so there's value for both. So you also have a unit of measurement there. We've got a few options. We can add more, whatever people want to use them for. And let's say I'm going to go with kilograms, show it on my dashboard, hit save. I'm going to go in and record one now to say I'm 78 kilos. Whoops, that's the journal. My apologies. I'm going to record the tracker. And here it is, weight. Already had one in there. So there it is in pounds for Americans. But here it is in kilos. So you wouldn't have to, right? You can delete the one you don't want. And here I am, 78. And I'm going to go save. Simple as that. So you can now go and report on that. So as you can see, a lot more capability in the premium plan, a lot more way to be engaged with Lifetick, no limitations on your goals, journal is the same, dreams are the same, reports are the same, but it's all about unlimited goals, financial goals, and trackers. And finally, the last little touch, which is very handy, is subtasks. And so if you want to go in and you've got a task, but you want it a little bit more granular, you could say get passports for family. Subtasks are really great. They don't have separate reminders, right? The reminder is around the overall task, but allows you just to keep a little bit more granular tracking. So I think it's good for checklists. Let's say you're going on a trip, what's your packing list? Here's my packing list. Are you going camping? Checklists are a great thing to use subtasks for. But let's say we're getting it for passports for mum, or as you say, mom, M-O-M. We say mum. Passport for dad, and passport for Bobby, passport for Sally. There you go. And you save. And it's due plenty of time. And we can hit save. I haven't worried about reminders, but again, there they all are. And don't need any notes. And there we have it. There are these subtasks. So I can complete them off one by one and then complete the lot. And as you can see, we're all in green. So I hope you've enjoyed this. Look forward to any comments, questions. We're always up for a chat. And happy life ticking.